Hi, welcome back. This is the plan that I have for the case. These are the fans and radiators options. Currently we have, the case comes with these two fans that I move up here, and the back fan that is still, I'm gonna leave it back there. I'm gonna put these three fans right here in the front, and the radiator option that I'm gonna choose is this one in the back, or the right side of the case, with these three fans. Alright, I'm gonna run a small test, gonna test the fans. So let me turn this off and show you what I did. These are the 6 fans, 3 for the front and 3 for the radiator. Just a surge protector to the P.S.U. The P.S.U. has the tester connector, so you just plug in the connector to test if the P.S.U. is working, and just use a peripheral cable to a Molex to give power to the fans. They connected to the controller, and there's 3 on each controller. There's 3 with the Molex for power. And if you want, you can interconnect all the controllers together. This is the other controller type. And that's basically it. You just connect them and see if they work. There's a lot of work to install them into the chassis, so always test them before install them all. And there they are, they all work, so we are good to go. Now I have the 3 front fans installed. You can see the difference between the front and the back. The size of the fan in the back is a little bit bigger. And this installed pretty easy. It has 4 screws per fan. You line them up and screw them in. I didn't want to make a video about screwing them in, it takes a long time, but I think you can handle it. It's just screwing them in. And now the radiator. Here you can see the radiator in the back and the right side of the case. You install the fans into the radiator and install the radiator in the case. This is the radiator here. You can see the 2 hoses that take the water or the liquid to the pump, and you can see these 2 long screws. Those are the ones that you use to attach the fans to the radiator, and then you will use the small ones to attach the radiator to the case. Let me show you. The instructions are pretty easy, and they are right here for you to see. This is the water pump. I have it covered with plastic for extra protection. And let's go to the back, or the right side of the case. This is how it looks so far. And these are the small screws that you would use to attach the radiator to the chassis. You can see there's a lot of options for you to choose. Once again, I didn't feel like there's a need to make a video out of this installation. Just follow the instructions and you should be okay. And this is the controller for the chassis fans. It's old school, so you have to keep it there to change the speed and the colors of the fans. I will lock it in there. These fans connectors are not compatible with new controllers. that use software to change speed and colors. All three fans have the same type of connector. This connector has 5 pins and will only fit into the controller that comes with the case. This is the case controller. You can see it has the 3 buttons, and in the back just a regular 4-pin channel connector that you find all around the motherboard in different places. Okay, so that was the controller for the chassis fans. Next we're going to talk about the power supply unit that I installed on this build. And now the power supply unit. This is the EVGA Supernova 1000 watts. This is one of my favorite P.S.Us out there because it's fully modular. You can see everything is labeled pretty good. So all you do is read and attach. Pretty easy to work with. This is the back of a chassis and the empty space where the P.S.U will be installed. This is where I'm going to install the P.S.U. Here on the bottom, the case comes with this pre-set ports, and also the case comes with 4 extra rubber supports to isolate the P.S.U from the chassis. You will use these 4 screws to attach the P.S.U to the chassis. This process was very simple. I don't think there's a need for a video about this. You just place the rubber isolators into the holes and place the P.S.U there and attach it with the screws, and you are done. These are the 2 controllers that I have. The bottom one controls the radiator fans, these 3 fans, and you connect up to 5 fans per controller. Those 3 in the back are the connectors for the fans, and this one here on the left is the power connector. And this connector here is the water pump connector. Thermaltake dropped the ball here. They don't mention this connector anywhere in the instructions. It looks like a USB connector. Your first impulse is to connect this into the USB port into the motherboard, but you don't want to do that. You can see here the only 2 cables that they explain in the instructions. I will explain this wire later on when I connect everything to the motherboard in the all connections to the motherboard video. Right now all you need to know is that the water pump has 2 cables. One looks like a USB, goes here, and the other one goes into the CPU fan into the motherboard. Here we have another cable that Thermaltake did not explain in the instructions. I watched a lot of videos to find out that this is a bridge cable, and it's used to connect 2 controllers together to synchronize them with the RGB software control interface that we will install at the end. The next cable is this one. Is the controller cable. This is the actual cable that comes from the motherboard from the USB port and is connected here. Back there you can see the chassis controller with the 3 fans cables in the back and the front channel cable that I explained before. And here the controller on the top controls the 3 front fans. And that was it for the controllers. Those are all the cables. This is how they look from the back. You can see the 6 fans attached to the controller, the bridge cables going around the back, and the controller cable that comes from the motherboard. And finally, an aerial view. This is how they look from the top and how they are laying on the bottom of the chassis. This is the end of this part. The next part will be devolutions, returning the that on-arrival motherboard to Asus and returning the 3 chassis fans to Thermaltake.